What's up YouTube? In this video I want to do a quick review comparing these two ASICS models here. On this side I have the Gel-Lyte 3s and on this side I have the Gel-Lyte 5s. Personally for me, the Gel-Lyte 3s and the Gel-Lyte 5s are my personal favorite silhouettes when it comes to the ASICS brand. I would say that over the past 5 or something years, ASICS has really blown up in popularity when it comes to lifestyle sneakers and particularly in the streetwear community. So again, I just want to quickly compare and contrast the difference and similarities between these two sneakers here. So this review will be based on these colorways that I have in hand. As for the Gel-Lyte 3s, I have the Baltic Jewel colorway, and as for the Gel-Lyte 5s, I have the Rose Gold / Cream colorway. So let's start off by talking about the similarities between these two models. Between the Gel-Lyte 3s and the Gel-Lyte 5s, they both have a fairly similar silhouette and shape. They both have the same height, and there are definitely some parallels when it comes to the placement and sizing of the ASICS Tiger logo. The classic ASICS Tiger stripes logos are conveniently placed on both the medial and the lateral sides of both sneakers on both models, and as I mentioned, they are fairly similar sized and similarly placed when it comes to the mid panels here. Depending on the colorways though, there may be some subtle differences when it comes to the materials. As for this example, the Baltic Jewels logo has more of a patent leather finish to it, whereas these rose gold have more of a suede finish. In regards to the bottoms and the traction patterns of both of these sneakers, they're not exactly the same, but they're not too far different from each other either. Some similarities you can see here is they both have that ASICS branding stamped right in the midfoot part of the outsole. And you can also see the dominance of these horizontal traction lines along the forefoot of both of these sneaker models. One more similarity between both of these models is that both of them integrate the same midsole technology. ASICS refers to this as their gel technology cushioning, which according to their website is a silicone-like material that helps effectively absorb shock and protect your feet from high impact strikes. But later in the video, I'll talk more about my opinions on the comfort regarding this technology here. Now let's quickly go over the differences between these two models. So the main and most obvious difference between the 3s and the 5s are the configurations of the tongues and the corresponding inner sock linings. The Gel-Lyte 3s are most known for their split tongue design, which really is a unique design that I don't think any other sports sneaker has done. As for the inner lining, it's comprised of what I think is like a cottony mesh type of material, but as you can see on this model anyway, it's a very plush and a very cushiony type of ankle support right here. But again, I want to talk about comfort later in the video. The Gel-Lyte 5s, on the other hand, has the sock-like collar. ASICS deems this as their mono sock technology, and as you can see, the inner sock lining is basically a whole continuation that starts from the tongue, and it basically wraps all the way around the ankle and to the back of the heel and Achilles area. This material is more of a smoother nylon type of material, but it is also pretty cushiony. I would actually describe it as more plush. With that being said, now I want to quickly compare and contrast the comfort between these two models. Overall, I would say both of these sneakers are pretty comfortable. They definitely do the job when it comes to casual wear and lifestyle, and as I mentioned with the midsole technology, it's very comfortable for all day wear. My opinion is that it's a fairly plush and comfortable technology that is very soft on your feet and makes it very comfortable for all day casual walking. As I mentioned not long ago, the main differences between these two models is the design of the tongue and the ankle collar. And personally for me, I think I prefer the comfort of the sock-like fit on the Gel-Lyte 5s over the split tongue 3s. Just personally for me, I'm generally more into the sock-like sneakers as of lately. Some examples that I really like are the Nike Huaraches and the Adidas Ultra Boosts. The monosock technology in these 5s, just at least in this pair, hugs my ankle fairly well. It feels very plush, it feels very comfortable, and it really fits nicely on my foot. And even if I were to wear these laces quite loose or not fully tied up, it still feels fairly secure on my feet. The split tongue 3s has its own advantages when it comes to slipping on and off your foot a little easier, allowing it for a more wide opening to again put your foot in and out of the shoe. But in regards to comfort, again, this is my opinion, it's just not as comfortable as the sock-like fit on the 5s. My foot in this shoe just doesn't feel as unified and as, again, comfortable and snug into the 5s as it does with this split-like collar on the 3s. But again, that's just my opinion. Now I want to quickly go over my opinions on sizing. Just for reference, I bought these Gel-Lyte 3s in a size 9.5, and I have these Gel-Lyte 5s in a size 10. Typically I am in between sizes 9.5 and 10 depending on the sneaker, but in the case of these Asics, I would actually prefer the size 10. The 9.5s do fit me when it comes to the Gel-Lyte 3s, but it is a very snug fit, almost a little too tight. So my advice for you if you're gonna try to buy these sneakers is to go up half a size, especially if you have wider feet. If you have narrow feet, you might be able to get away with true to size, but again, for me, I did prefer going the half size up. If you know your size for the Nike Huaraches and the Adidas Ultra Boosts, I would go with that size. Next, I thought I'd share some little tips and tricks on how I personally style these sneakers. When it comes to these two models, I really only wear them for casual and lifestyle purposes. To keep it real simple and basic, I think both of these sneakers would look great with plain old shorts and no-show socks. Because after all, they were initially designed to be trainers anyway. They are retro running sneakers, so just put on a running type of fit, and these sneakers would look great with shorts. Just be a little more careful with the Gel-Lyte 3s. With the split tongue, you definitely want to make sure that the split tongue is closed and not exposing that middle gap, because otherwise, if you wear your laces a little loose and you expose that gap in the middle, you expose your foot and it does look a little tacky like that. If you want to dress these up a little more and rock some pants, my go-tos are some pinroll jeans and some jogger cuff pants. Because both of these sneakers have some pretty unique tongue designs, I think it's important that you expose the tongues and show it off. In my opinion, by wearing some baggier or drapier pants, I think it kind of defeats the purpose of showing off the unique sneaker design in itself, and that's why I prefer to go with the pinroll or the jogger cuffs. Covering the tongue again defeats the purpose, and it's just not personally a look I recommend, but again, that's just my opinion. Just one more tip I thought I'd share, and this is regarding your choice of socks. My general rule of thumb, and this is really for any sneaker, but particularly with these Asics, what I like to do is match the color of the sock liner with the socks that you're gonna be wearing. In the case of both these 3s and 5s that I have, both of them have white inner sock linings, and so of course with these, I have to go with white socks. Just personally, again, for me, I prefer more of a coherency, so wearing mismatching socks or even darker socks with an inner white lining just adds a little too much contrast for my personal taste. All in all, I really like the aesthetic and silhouettes of both of these Asics sneakers. They're both very comfortable trainers that are great for everyday wear, casual wear, and lifestyle. The quality of both of these sneakers, I would say, are above average, and for the price point of $80 to $120, depending on the colorway of course, I would say it's definitely worth it. Arguably, for this price point, you're actually getting some really decent comfort and quality, and it's arguably better than a lot of other more popular Nike and Adidas models that are out there for the same price. So if you're really interested or curious about the Asics line, I would really give it a shot. So if you have any other questions about these sneakers, don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll help you the best I can. If you made it this far to the video, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It'll help me out a lot. And consider subscribing for more content on footwear and fashion. While you're at it, be sure to check out my previous videos here and here. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Peace.